Hello everyone, I'm Carthu and welcome back to the dojo. Today, we are going to discuss the latest episode, or I should say episodes, of Dragon Ball Super. Now you may notice this isn't an Everything Important. That's right, this is going to be a review. The Everything Important will still happen, but because the Everything Important is going to be longer, because it's a two-part special, I decided it would be better to separate the ramblings and review from the Everything Important. Or instead of doing two Everything Importants too, I didn't really want to do that. So, let's talk about that special, man. Is anyone gonna say anything bad? Really? If anyone says anything bad about that special, it was good. It was a good special. You can't lie. You can't lie that it was a bad episode, or bad episodes. You could say that Ribrianne was boring, and she is, and she's not being mentioned in Everything Important because of it, because she's irrelevant. Right? She's base Goku, base Vegeta level. Irrelevant. To when we have a person who comes up who Goku needs a new form to even compete with, and may not have been able to defeat even with that new form. Just competed with him. So despite this not being in Everything Important, obviously there's things I want to talk about in the way that I usually do in my ramblings and reviews. But I don't want to go too in-depth with them. As like I said, I usually go into detail in my Everything Importance, which will be later today, as always. So, we have a 1-hour special, Goku, Jiren, Goku's new form, Goku's new technique, too. That's a big thing. New form, new technique. Really crazy. I'd like to get this out of the way now. I called a lot of things. I called one, what they're calling Ultra Instinct in English. I called that. I called that would be part of the basis of the new form. The second thing I called was Jiren being the mortal, right? That was confirmed. The third thing I called was Beerus not knowing who the mortal was, right? He obviously didn't. I didn't know that. Whis didn't know either. It's a weird thing to know that he knows which god of destruction is stronger than Beerus, but not the mortal that god of destruction is weaker than. I'm confused by the logic there, but Whis seemed like he didn't know who the mortal was until he saw Jiren. And he was like, yeah, that's the mortal. And even Belmod said Jiren never loses to anyone, right? He was implying, like, even gods of destruction himself, you know? So, then we have Goku, who's able to swap hands with him once he gets the new form, and is able to use the Ultra Instinct. So, Goku is stronger than Beerus. You could tell this, too, by the way Beerus reacts to seeing Goku use this ability. Beerus is like, well, it's over. And he was even, like, surprised that Kaioken times 20 didn't work on Jiren. And Goku was using Kaioken times 20 a lot on Jiren. It was pretty nuts. To put that in perspective, that would be 200 times Goku Super Saiyan Blue during the Universe 6 tournament arc. 200 times. That's insane. He's insanely strong now, Goku. So this new form is even stronger than that. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about. I don't want to ramble on for really more than 10 minutes. Another big thing was the ending, right? Goku gets beat down, and Frieza collects Goku and pulls him to the side and is like, you know, this reminds me of Namek. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow too, but I think I could say it here too, and it could be redundant tomorrow for all I care. The thing is, he says, I remember Namek, right? I'm having memories of Namek. So what is he remembering? A lot of people are saying, oh, he's remembering how he was beaten on Namek and he wants revenge. I doubt it. He was saying how he remembers how Goku healed him on Namek with energy, right? Gave him energy, spared him. Yes, I agree with that. But I also agree with the fact that he probably remembers the Genki Dama, the Kaioken times 20, a new transformation after both those not working, right? So I think it's a culmination of everything he remembers from Namek, not just the, you know, granting of energy for him to live on, which I think is going to happen next episode. Frieza will probably grant Goku energy, and that's how Goku will keep on going on. Vegeta was really sort of upset that Goku got this new form. He was like, how do you get it? What is it? Tell me how to do it. I want to do it. And Goku's like, I don't know, man. This episode was also full of moments, but not character moments per se. More like alpha moments, right? Where someone would just say something and they would be like, I don't care. Yeah, I'm way stronger than you, or way stronger than you're giving me credit for. there were a bunch of them. Even Goku definitely had some towards the end, but even in the episode 109, he had good alpha moments. Like when Jiren thought he knocked Goku off the ring, and Goku comes up, and Masako Nozawa, mwah, bless that woman. Where do you think you're going? The way she says that is so intimidating. I can't get past it, man. I can't. It was such a great delivery. I listened to it like 3 times when I was watching through the first time. I haven't watched it twice yet. Well, at least not episode 109 twice yet. As we all probably know, Crunchyroll, Verve, Daisuke, Funimation, everything was having issues with this. And that just shows you how big this special is and how many people were hyped for it. And I think that Toei definitely delivered on the hype. I want to get that out of the way. I don't want anyone to say, oh, no, they didn't deliver on the hype. It wasn't as good as it could have been. How could it have been better? I had someone who was telling me, and I'm hoping he's a subscriber because he told me in the comments, and, I was right in saying this, but I thought I had good reason to say it in the first place. I didn't think it was too much of a stretch. Goku's new form was going to be present in it. He kept telling me, no, it was hype material. It was not actually going to show up in the episode, yada, yada, yada. Or if it did show up, it'd be at the very end, and we'd see nothing about it. I'm like, but this and that, and they lived up to it. I'm hoping that guy's happy, too, that he got to see the new form, and it really, really was good. There's no better way to say it. It was good. The episode 109 looked good. Episode 110 looked good. They were well animated, well storyboarded, well directed. What else can we ask for? Oh, man, there's so much to talk about. It was actually amazing. It really was, and I'm probably going to rewatch that thing like 10 times. When I like an episode, I rewatch it a bunch of times to nitpick the details that even everything important doesn't tell you. And some things I catch afterwards, like, I believe it's episode 107? I think in episode 107, we have the Universe 6 Namekians are shown in a group shot with the rest of the Universe 6 fighters, and, like, no one noticed it. And even I didn't notice it for everything important. I would have made a point about it. Like, this is the first time we're seeing them full body on the screen, not on the little monitor. But no one really noticed it as far as I could tell, and I didn't notice it until, like, a third viewing, which was obviously after my Everything Important, which is after a second viewing. And that's another thing. I try not to do this stuff after watching the raw version, right? Or watching a live stream. Or watching it off Fuji TV, wherever we watch it. Because I do understand Japanese to a good extent. I mean, there's obviously vocabulary I don't know, and some conjugations that I don't know, or particle forms, things like that. But I know a decent amount of Japanese, enough so that I can get by and usually understand about 3/4 of an episode. I don't like to do that because if I'm wrong, I'm discrediting myself. I don't want to ever bring misinformation to this channel. I like to have pure, honest-to-goodness, raw facts. And that's why I do screenshots with the subtitles, and that's why my thumbnails are rarely ever fan art. And the only times they've ever been fan art, actually the only time it's ever been fan art is not by a fan. It was me who needed a thumbnail for the Vegeta becomes the next god of destruction video, so I just decided to draw it real quick. Didn't take me very long, because it's actually a very simple picture if you go look at that thumbnail. It doesn't match Dragon Ball's art style at all. It was just to catch the eye and let you know what the theory was, and to let you know it was a theory, right? I didn't want it to look so photorealistic to Dragon Ball art, or else then I'm tricking people. Again, I'm trying not to clickbait or anything. I just want you to watch the content, know what you're clicking, and then you sit, you enjoy or you dislike, you disagree, you comment, we have a discussion, I reply to every comment. But back on track with the episode. We didn't have character moments, and I think we didn't have as many character moments as we could have. Not to say there weren't any. I had a few things I liked. When Goku's asked what he would wish for by Ribrianne, and he says, I don't know, maybe something for Chi-Chi or my sons, or maybe just to fight some strong guys. It's like encapsulating Goku. Goku's companions, because he really doesn't think of his family as family, he thinks of them as companions. His companions and his quest to fight strong people. And it literally encapsulates Goku in one little blurb about a wish that he's going to grant. And it does so in a foreshadowing way, too, because Jiren is obviously going to be the strongest opponent he's ever fought and things like that. Crazy. Crazy well done. The scene with Beerus. There's two scenes, but I consider it one because they're very close to each other. The scene when they all think Goku's dead. And Beerus is just like, is this it? Is this the end of you, Goku? Son Goku? And then we find out Goku's still in the rubble, right? He's shaking the world of void. And Beerus is like, he's coming. It's like, yes. Beerus cares. As much as he pretends to be dismissive and not personable and agitated by the sheer mention of these mortals being in his presence, he actually cares. And it's amazing to see that transition pay off as it's been slowly happening throughout the arcs. And I really, really am happy to have a Beerus that really makes me smile and doesn't make me feel like, why are you such a prick? I want you to be this sort of rivaling guidance, right? Like you're something to aspire to, but once you are reached, you'll be a rival at the same time, and you'll also be part of this group, but not in the same way as everyone else. You'll still always be a little distant, but you'll always sort of come back to the group, no matter what, regardless of circumstance or what have you. I mean, really, really enjoyed that. I think that was the best character moment in the episode, because really otherwise you don't really have any. You could say that Jiren letting Goku charge up his Genki Dama was a character moment. Sure, go ahead and say that, but I don't know if that is, or it's just telling that Jiren is a very good judge of strength, and he knows regardless of how strong that Genki Dama is, it won't be enough to beat him with the way Goku is right now. I should also say that I'm really glad he's the mortal, not because it proves me right, but because it shows that once we get past Kaioken times 20, a Genki Dama that Goku knows was stronger than Kaioken times 20 Super Saiyan Blue, he had to have. He was like, oh, it won't be ready in time. There's no way. And then Jiren's like, I'll wait for it to be strong enough. And so that Genki Dama is at least Kaioken times 21 Super Saiyan Blue in strength, at least. And that means the transformation is at least Kaioken times 22. Again, at least, but realistically these things be much stronger. It was definitely a good thing because I don't think we need Beerus to be this unachievable, ever-distancing goal. Instead, we need Beerus to be this stable goal that doesn't train, doesn't feel the need to, right? He's already reached what he thinks is his peak, or close to it at the very least. And so Goku and Vegeta and everyone else can get closer to this goal, and once they reach it, Beerus realizes, oh crap, I need to train now. I need to get stronger. And maybe we get to see a bit of a rivalry there, or we get to see how much talent Beerus naturally has. And maybe with some training, he just leaps miles ahead again, and he's just this ever-increasing boundary that can never really catch up to Whis, but gets close. And then Goku and them always get close, but never reach. Well, it's tough. As you could tell from the way I just rambled that together, it's not well thought out. But, they could reach Beerus or surpass Beerus, and then Beerus just launches ahead of them with just a little bit of training, similar to the Frieza stuff. It's very, very interesting, in my opinion, to have that sort of dynamic happen after the dynamic we've had for a while, which is Beerus is way stronger, and it's crazy to think that you'd ever be close. So yeah, I've definitely been talking longer than the 10 minutes that I said that I wanted to do for this review. It was a good episode. It really was. And I'm going to wrap up by saying I was right about the Genki Dama exploding in the middle, and that causing Goku's transformation. He didn't absorb it. It was directly stated he didn't absorb it. Instead, it was a trigger for something else to happen, which is similar to what I said in my last video. And it exploded, like I said, in between them. Goku fell into the explosion, but still exploded in between them, which again, what I said in the last video. I was right about how the new form makes use of the Ultra Instinct technique, though I was calling it... I actually, to be fair too, I also use the word instinct, but that's not actually what the Japanese word means. It's more like self-movement and things like that. I was also, of course, right about Jiren being the mortal, which I heavily defended, as you could see from the last few videos on the channel. I wanted to heavily defend that point before the special came out, because I knew the special would basically tell us one way or the other if he was or wasn't. And it told us he was. That was it. That's the blatant truth. Belmod said no one can beat Jiren. no one. He never loses. He doesn't say he never loses to mortals. He never says he never has lost. No. He says he never loses to anyone. And then Whis also confirms that this person seems like the person that has similar power to the gods of destruction and is probably the person that is stronger than a god of destruction. And I think that's the end of the debate. There's no more to talk about. And I'm not going to say I was the only one that was right. Plenty of people were right. But I was happy to prognosticate as much as I could here. In the words of Geekdom 101, I guess I am a great prognosticator in this case. Though there are things about the Grand Priest theory that have changed with this episode. Oh, that's something I need to hit up really quickly before I finish this video. The Grand Priest's speech was weird. It was so out of tone for the rest of his character during these 2 episodes, where he was all cheery and giddy, and then all of a sudden, he's like, yes, that's right, until this pillar hits the ground, you will fight. Who gives a crap if Goku's dead? Who gives a crap if that universe is gone? You're gonna fight until the end. And it was like, wow, that's really sinister sounding. But should we be reading too much into that? At this point, it seems like something else is going to happen because of a new figure release that's coming out soon, where there's a mystery figure on the box alongside Hit, Gohan, Goku in the new form. So we have some things to think about. It also calls it the Universe Survival Climax Arc, which is like the equivalent of having an Android saga and a Cell saga, I'd assume. So they're all part of the Cell saga in most fans' minds, but they're individual in that sense. Who knows? We'll have to find out in time. That figure is a whole nother talking point, but I want to look at it more and study its body shape, look around the fighters that we have, and come to my own conclusions there before I just start stating, oh, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. Anyway, guys, I really, really like these 2 episodes, and I'm going to watch them a bunch more times. But what do you guys think? Leave your opinions and counterpoints in the comments down below, and subscribe if you want more Dragon Ball videos. But for now, video outro!